What is FEG? Footmen vs. Grunts, or FEG, is a custom Warcraft 3 game mode initially created by a user named Compit. It has since had many editors, but the current ones are Cloud, Pony, Hitman, and HighMF. These are well known and liked members of the community entrusted with keeping the game mode alive and feeling fresh. With the dev introductions out of the way, what is FEG? Well, it's a 10-player map. There are two teams of 5 which fight to destroy their enemy's main base. There are also a few side objectives like the stone in the middle, which if taken provides a mana regeneration aura as well as a speed aura. Outside of both teams' bases, there are creep camps that have to be killed before they are able to fight for control of the middle. There are also creep camps located on the sides of the main battlefield, which can provide additional income without needing to overextend too much onto the enemy territory. I marked the easiest creep camps with a green circle, the medium ones with orange, and the hardest ones with red. The way to look at this is green is early to middle game, orange is early end game to end game, and red is over 75 minutes. So now, what races are available? Well, there are 6 races to choose out of. Races on the side of Alliance are humans, night elves, and Naga. And fighting on the Horde's side are orcs, undead, and demons. Every race has a vast repertoire of both melee, range, as well as caster units, allowing for lots of different playstyles. Every race has their special ability that when bought affects most of their units. For example, Night Elves can research evasion as their racial ability, but Orcs have critical strike instead. This video would get too long if I were to explain every race more deeply, so I will save that for another video. Now, moving on to the heroes. Even though the game mode revolves mostly around basic units, heroes are also an essential part of it. There are 2 categories for heroes, supports and non-supports. The distinction is made mostly by checking if a hero has an aura ability or not. Support heroes are bought to improve an already existing army and are generally considered easy to use. The other way to use heroes is to play non-supports. Their strength lies in abilities that allow them to disrupt enemy armies in various ways. That playstyle is generally considered rather difficult and I would not recommend it if you're just starting out. Now, controls. Every player begins the game with a control tower that allows for easier maneuvering of large armies. Its commands affect all of your heroes, units, with the exclusion of lumber harvesting shredders and repairing workers. Because of this, you can save your control groups just for the most important units and heroes. The control tower has the option to make all of your units attack move to a spot designated by you, move without attacking, also to a spot designated by you, attack move to the center of enemy base, as well as retreat to the center of your own base. Units and their synergies. Units are not produced in FEG. They spawn, and every unit has its own spawn time, and also a cap on how many of it there can be. There are 2 types of synergies between units: level sharing and upgrade sharing. In this section, I will focus on level sharing. So, what are levels and how do they work? Every time one of your units kills an enemy, they fill up their experience bar, indicated by an increasing percentage number appearing right after every kill. When the bar reaches 100%, units level up. That affects all other units of the same type. So, if you have a full bulk level up, all other full bulks will receive the stat bonus as well. Every level grants 2% hit points and stacks up to a maximum of a bonus 100%, which happens very rarely, but it can happen. Now, as to how sharing experience works. If 2 units share XP, it means every time they fill up their XP bar, the unit they share with will also receive a level. And because their XP bars are separate, you will overall receive way more levels. Listing all the units that share experience with each other is a whole different topic that deserves its own video. Now, upgrades. Upgrades are right up there with units and heroes in terms of how important they are to win the game. Upgrades can cost gold or golden lumber. So let's quickly go over how to get those resources. Every 5 seconds you get 25 gold. Until minute 20, it's only 15 gold. Lumber is generated via shredders, which can be bought from mercenary camps located in the middle of both the Horde's and Alliance's bases. A small amount of lumber is also generated every time you kill an enemy unit. Now, I want to mention two types of upgrades. Ones that just upgrade, for example, the attack or armor of your units, and ones that transform a certain unit type into a more powerful form. Those are called unit upgrades, which usually cost 2500 gold and 1000 lumber. They are very big power spikes, and you should generally aim to get one of them by around 15 to 20 minutes into the game. Now, general tips. For the last part of this guide, I wanted to add some general tips that don't really fit into any specific category. So, starting off, mercenary camps house a lot of useful units that might just help you gain an advantage. Goblin Zeppelins can send items to your heroes across the entire map. Goblin Sappers in good hands can blow up entire backlines of weaker units, swaying the tide of battle back into your favor. Goblin Sappers possess the ability to net, so even if enemies surprise you with air units, you can get a fast counter to them. The same building also has a scroll of town portal that instead of costing 500 gold, costs only 250 and 250 lumber, which is a better deal in most cases. And the last tip is to type to your allies. There is often at least one player more experienced than you inside of any FEG game. So if you are not sure what to do next, just ask. Well, that was an introduction to the amazing game mode that is Footmen vs. Grunts. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. You can also leave a comment, as any feedback is greatly appreciated. Also, the background footage in this video was taken from one of my live streams on Twitch, so if you would like to see me play live, I will leave a link to my Twitch channel in the description below. I'm planning on doing way more videos explaining in detail the different mechanics of this game mode, so I hope I will see you guys in the next one.